Welcome back and thanks for sticking with us. It is time for us to take a look at Division 3, and Ramon, the top four sides have now officially confirmed their place in this year's final series. It's not mathematically possible for any side outside of the top four to push their way in. Of course, that's all on the back of the top four sides, really, well, all of them, obviously Thomastown at the bye, but the other three recording some heavy wins on the weekend and showing why they are in that top echelon and pushing for this year's premiership. Each of Panton Hill, Reservoir and Watsonia recorded some big wins in pretty tough conditions on Saturday.
Yeah, it was. I was out to the Reservoir St Mary's clash. It was quite close there for 3 quarters, but Reservoir running away in the last quarter, ran out by 41 points in the end. And
I was out at Panton Hill versus Parkside, and the scoreboard early on didn't indicate how close the game was. It was 25 points of difference at quarter time, but there really wasn't too much in it in the actual contest. Parkside missed a couple of gettable shots on goal. 1 goal for at quarter time, and could easily have been 5 straight or 4 goals won and right in the contest. Wasn't to be, and as good sides do, Panton Hill put them away once they got going in the second quarter, and it was pretty comfortable thereafter. But certainly early on, the scoreboard not indicative of how close the game was on the field. This weekend, there's another 3 games coming up. The biggest one is being played at 8K Lions Reserve. It is Watsonia hosting the Reservoir Football Club. A big game for both sides. Watsonia, well, they boosted their percentage at the weekend. They're now 1 game and 13% clear of Thomastown, who's in 3rd place, but Thomastown has that extra game up their sleeve. Reservoir will, if they can win this one here, they could, still be in contention for a top 2 place. Of course, their percentage isn't great. They'd have to win just about every game from here to make a top 2 spot, but you just never know. I'm sure they give themselves every chance. They have beaten Watsonia on this ground earlier in the year.
I guess so, but it was probably looking at the bad side of things. Then the last time they played was Watsonia by about 13 goals at Reservoir footy grounds. So I think it'll be a much tighter encounter. One thing I'd like to say is Toby O'Meara kicking the 6 goals. He made it look like a dry day, taking one-handed marks, kicking goals on the boundary line, everything. It was a great effort by him, but I'm certainly going to be going with Watsonia.
I'll stick with the Saints as well. They've been in some great form. They've troubled just about every side in the competition. They haven't beaten Panton Hill, but of course that day there, the last time they played, it was only a 3-game differential, and you'd almost argue at this stage they're the side that looks most like pushing Panton Hill in the back end of the season. On Watsonia's forwards, rather, they're all in good form as well. Jeremy Bennett kicked another 5 goals on the weekend, so he's really getting up top of that goal-kicking list as well. I think he's 4 clear of the next best forward. That's Ben Finnan from Panton Hill. It's good to see Brendan Cottier get in on the act as well with 4 goals. And on Reservoir, winning on the weekend, it was actually the first time since round 3 that they'd recorded successive wins in the year. So it's been a while between drinks, but they're now firmly entrenched inside the top 4. 4 games clear of St Mary's in the drop zone, so they've certainly booked their place in September. It was a good win they had against St Mary's at the weekend. Speaking of the borough, they returned to Watmore Park for the first time in 3 weeks to host Panton Hill. They've had some big troubles against Panton Hill this year, it has to be said. They've lost both games by pretty considerable margins. Thought on the weekend they certainly played. I don't think the game was worthy of having a 41-point loss. It was within 3 goals for the most part, but it's pretty tough to see the borough really challenging the Redbacks this weekend.
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, they played well for 3 quarters, and in the conditions, I give them full credit. Reservoir just far too good in the end. So I certainly will be going with the Redbacks record a win there.
I think Panton Hill they've got so many big bodies around the footy, and in the heavy days, it just suits them to an absolute T. Abe Williams came back into the lineup for his first game of the year, and he was sensational, just fitted in as if he'd been there all year. And there's just so many players who can use the footy, whether it's a dry day or a wet day. And in the ruck, we talk about Tristan Cranberg continuously, but he just dominates regardless of the conditions, and they just look so settled across the fence, attacking through the midfield and playing some sensational football into the back end of the year. You'd have to think now that they've got their 2nd consecutive minor premiership all but wrapped up. The final game of this round, it actually sees Parkside host Thomastown, of course. This game here, always a bit of extra spice, given the fact that George Latoof is now, of course, the coach of Parkside, the 3rd time now he'll coach against his former side in Thomastown, who he coached last year. Thomastown returns from the bye. They'll be looking for better form than what happened prior to the bye, when they were soundly touched up by the Panton Hill Football Club. But they've had themselves 2 really big wins against Parkside this year, and I would imagine they'd make it a 3rd successive win against the Devils.
Yeah, I think Thomastown got way more to play for at the moment. Parkside, we've said all year, too inconsistent, and we'll have to look at season 2014. So I think Thomastown are going to be far too strong in this game. Having
said that, Parkside has defeated 2 of the sides inside of the top 4 this year, of course. Knocked over Reservoir, knocked over Panton Hill in round 1, so they might see it as another opportunity. They've seemed to play their best footy against some of those top sides at the weekend. Certainly their endeavour couldn't be faulted, but they didn't just have that talent to match it with Panton Hill. And again, it was the same type, the likes of Darren Gresham, Brad Hockey leading the way. Jamie Gresham was good. He's only played a handful of games this year, but he tried hard all day. But they just don't have that even contribution from all 22 at the moment. It's going to be pretty tough, but they have caused a few upsets this weekend. That's all we have time for tonight. Of course, we'll be back again next week, so make sure you're tuning in. Of course, stay on www.nfl.org.au for all your Northern Football League news. If you're around the grounds at the weekend, get to m.nfl.org.au on your mobile web browser, and you can get all the live scores. Of course, you can do that on the website as well. We'll be back again next week. We thank you for your time tonight.